guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and we're looking at, I think, probably the best banner unit in Dokkan now. This is AMOND and RASIN right here, you know, Ballsack brothers. They probably are the best banner unit. I think having guard, damage reduction, and support, this is just a great character to bring about the full potential of some of these strong space traveling warriors and other powerful characters, right? So let's go ahead and Dokkan Awaken them. I'm going to use them at 55% in the Turles 55% video. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them Dokkan Awaken now. Then we'll circle back around, we'll rainbow them, and eventually this video right here will become level 10 Link's Rainbow Showcase. Now, because this is a slot 1 guard damage reduction character, you guys already know where we will eventually be going. Dodge. Alright guys, we are back. Let's go ahead and get the Rainbow Star on AMOND and RASIN and all the Ballsack brothers, everything we got going on here. This character is ridiculous. Absolutely, I'm maximizing as much defensive potential as I can. This is a guard, damage reduction, and support character. This is exactly ideal. This is everything we want. This character in particular is designed really well and can positively impact a lot of the villain characters. This is exactly what villains want, what villains needs, is a character like this. Their support is mainly to planetary destruction characters, but, you know, the coolers are on there and stuff like that. Like, this character's gonna hit a lot of characters like that, so I'm definitely really excited. I think AMOND and RASIN and what is the other Ballsack brother? His name's like LASIK or something like that. This character is very, very good. Alright guys, so we are here in an event with AMOND and RASIN. AMOND plus the Ballsack brothers. So real quick, I could just quickly go over why this character is so strong. I mean, they're sort of just like an updated version of Rakumen Goldo, but better, I would say. I mean, this is just basically any villain team that they can go on, they will certainly be a help on. Now, they're not on a lot of categories. They only have, what, Planetary Destruction, Join Forces, Terrifying Conquer, and Space Traveling Warriors. So they're not on the most teams ever, right? But they are on, for example, LR Final Form Cooler's team, and they are going to be a major help because while this unit is, you know, again, essentially Rakumen Goldo, this character is also supporting as well. So they get 150% attack and defense start a turn. They give Planetary Destruction category allies 1 key and 30% attack and defense, which is strong. And then they also get another 20% defense and a 10% chance to crit if the allies are also space traveling warriors, right? Which would cover Turles, Cooler, Bojack, you know, some of the big ones that are, well, no, Bojack is not Planetary Destruction, but Turles and Cooler, right? Some of the big ones who are Planetary Destruction and Space Traveling Warriors, right? And even if they're just Planetary Destruction, the buff is still going to be decent. So that, of course, could be very helpful, right? Then this character is also guarding, and they get 20% damage reduction as the first attacker in a turn, which is just really powerful. And then they get an additional 50% attack, and an additional super as the second or third attacker in a turn. And then they get an additional 30% attack and defense every time guard is activated, up to a max of 150%. So, okay, their buff every time guard is activated. So if we run them in slot 1, technically guard is activated for them. So even if they would dodge attacks in slot 1, that does count as them guarding, and they are still building up even as dodging. If you're in slot 2 or 3 and you dodge, of course, you're not actually guarding in that instance. So if AMOND and RASIN would be attacked by a tech character, that counts as guarding. So maybe there's some red zone fight or tough fight where the first phase is tech, and for whatever reason you want to put AMOND and RASIN in slot 2 or slot 3, float them off or something like that. If they got hit, they would technically be guarding against the tech type character, right? For the most part, you want to run this unit in slot 1. Their link set is certainly not the greatest. Loyalty, Destroy the Universe, Team Turles, Brutal Beatdown, Thirst for Conquest, Tough as Nails, and Fierce Battle, right? Now, if they would have one weakness, it's actually this right here. Key. oftentimes is a tremendous issue I've found for AMOND RASIN. Now, it's not the biggest deal ever because this is not a character that needs to super attack or do damage for their impact to be felt, right? Just with them guarding and supporting, they are really, really helping us out nicely, right? So it is fine that in many instances, we're actually going to be missing a super attack with them. They do have a good super attack effect as well. They get 30% defense, and then they also have a high chance to seal. Definitely can be very effective abilities. So, alright, this is our first turn with them. Remember, they do need at least, 5 hits targeted at them. Remember, if they would dodge, that does still give them their buffs, right? Because guard is technically activated. I do love that. It's awesome. So, it allows me... Because well, number one, I just despise characters having to be hit in general, right? I think it's just really shitty. Outside of a couple of characters who have guard the first couple of turns, you know, Orange Piccolo, I guess, I don't know, Fasha, LR Goku Black and Zamasu, Gamma 1, right? Those characters, it's not really so much of an issue. But, like, you know, having to get hit is just frustrating because for the most part, it's something that's completely out of your control. You can't decide where the enemy is attacking, when the enemy's attacking you, right? Like, it might be a turn like this. Like, pretend that, like, I don't know, Chi-Lai is a character that we need to get attacked, and she's in that last spot. It just really can be very tiresome and very annoying a lot of times, having to, it just can be very tiresome, right? Having to have characters get hit. So I do like, you know, when guard is activated instead, right? And it's a character that guards. Although, I mean, that's still, you do have to have the attacks targeted at you. I prefer, I guess, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different ways characters can build up nowadays. And the thing is, they definitely want to put, like, build up or different types of things like that into a lot of characters. It's not common where, like, some character just has all of these crazy abilities, like, right away, right? It's just not a thing. Right, it's like, you would have a character like maybe like LR Bulma, but, you know, she's a nuking character that needs a lot of orbs, but, like, you know, you have to get those orbs with her first to get those abilities. All these other characters are stacking, or building up by doing super attacks, or building up by attack, or being hit, right? All those types of things. Alright, so, AMOND and RASIN are mostly built up. We'll probably see them fully built up right here. No, we will not. Okay. Sure. Okay. Well, I'm actually... So they're at 500k right here. Let's see. So they were attacked 3 times. They're not fully built up, but we could sort of test out their damage capabilities on this turn, and I think I will. Let's go for this. Let's see how they're gonna perform damage-wise on this turn. Linked up with Diaz and Cacao, we'll have most of our links activated. They should do a pretty decent amount of damage on this turn. The character can be versatile. Now, if they would double or triple super, remember every super attack they're going to do is going to give them that 30% defense. So this third form Frieza, even if he super attacks and connects, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Now remember, any attacks aimed at AMOND and RASIN right here are not going to build us up, right? Because they are not guarding in slot 2. They're not going to be guarding at all. And remember, in slot 2, though, that was the guaranteed additional super, and then they also got the extra 50% attack. Alright, so if Frieza supers, he missed because we dodged, yeah. I mean, full dodge on this character, to me, I mean, it's just, like, so obviously what you want to do. I guess additional could be useful since they have a high chance to seal, right? Like, it could be useful to get an additional super, and then, you know, the first super didn't seal, and then the second super does seal. Or perhaps you don't even get the super attack, right? Because ki is an issue for this character. You don't get the ki to be able to do a super attack, right? And then, but you get the hidden potential system additional, and then you seal with that. That is definitely something that could happen for sure. All right. This actually works out really well for us. This is good. The fact that I think I'm going to go ahead and pop Turles' active right here. We might as well go ahead and get this in the video. I don't see any reason why not.
これがなんだかわかるか？お月様さ。弾けてまたね。さあ、 お前本来の姿を見せてみろ。
Alright, perfect. Yep, that Great Ape Kid Gohan active always does a lot of damage. Both of the Great Ape Kid Gohan actives we've gotten 2 of those this year. Both of them definitely do a lot of damage. Alright, so we have a really nice rotation right here. I think I'll probably just leave, them next to Diaz and Cacao. So this is perfect, so we'll be fully built up. So remember, we're supporting, we're doing a lot of good stuff right here. They're up to 548. This is where this character is just so ridiculous. 548, they're guarding, they have damage reduction, they're supporting, they just are doing so much. Now let's just put them next to LR Turles. They're just such a crazy character. I love them. I think they're phenomenal. I would say they're the best Vanny unit. Is there another character we could say is better than them? I don't think so. Yeah, so they're fully built up, 5.63 right there. Again, the guard, the damage reduction, the support. I mean, it's just... this is a nuts character. Like, this is exactly what you want, right? Like, I think that STR Krillin is super, super good. I do really like Chilai, STR Piccolo. Yajirobe, of course, is good. I feel like, if you're talking about good Vanny units... You really don't want to ignore Tech God Goku, AGL Golden Frieza, AGL Android 8, Tech Caulifla, those characters, based upon the conditions of the enemy you're fighting and stuff like that. They're all essentially complete brick walls and capable of taking damage, which is pretty good. But, I mean, there we go. There is AMOND RASIN. Just a ridiculously good character, man. Like, this is exactly what we want. And this is the thing, right? Like, Turles... People definitely did jump the gun. Oof, that did a little bit of damage right there. People did jump the gun with this Turles celebration, right? Like, I feel like if you would just ask people, they think that Turles is, like, absolutely awful. He came into the game with no help. He sucks. The celebration's bad. But it's like, they gave Turles a, like, impossible to activate intro at the moment. But Turles himself is good, right? I think he's very far away from what Super 17 is. And Turles did get help, right? I think AMOND RASIN, Diaz and Cacao, and Great Ape AGL Turles, all very strong additions, right? That help out Turles quite a bit. If you, pretty much any Dokkan Fest that comes out, or like LR or something like that, if you give them an AMOND RASIN level character, the character's gonna look good, right? Like if Super 17 had, an AMOND RASIN type, rather than Dr. Zhou and Dr. Mew, who are pretty ass, like, I could only imagine how much better Super 17 would be if he had, like, a perfect partner that, was capable of taking hits, and was capable of tanking, and just, like, all the stuff. I mean, there's... It's just, like, it's so important, especially when villains drop, to give them help, and they did give Turles help. I think Easy, LR Gohan, and Goten were very good. I mean, they, of course, could have been, like, Easy, LR Turles. I mean, look, in this run already, we saw LR Turles eat 400k damage from 2 normal attacks, right? Obviously, if he was Easy 8, that would not have been the case, and he would be a lot better, and the team would be even stronger, but, I mean, the team is definitely good. It's not like... I don't know. You could make a case, right, that, man, what do I want to do for the showcase? Do we want them... Damn, they're at 639k defense. For the showcase, do we want to see them eat full power Frieza's super attack for lunch? Or, yeah, I think we do. I think we want to put them in slot 1 right here. And we want to let them just go, num, 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 num. Thank you, Frieza. That's what we want to do right here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and hit this turn real quick. Or we could put him in slot 2 and see him do even more damage. I mean, they're going to just completely tank, right? Like, we are not... Hold on. There is one thing I want to see, actually. Alright, guys, I'm actually going to do this rotation. I think I want to see the damage AMOND RASIN could do right here. They're easily going to be able to tank. That's not in question. This is like max juiced up damage-wise for them. Let's see what they could do in slot 2 right here. Chilai, be a darling for us and dodge this. Yup, perfect, perfect. Goated. My goat, Chilai. That's another thing that's great about Turles. Turles allowed us to get the shackles off Chilai, and she is just going to be a dominant force on this team. All right, so they, 6.7 right there? And then remember, they do have a guaranteed additional super, and then both these super attacks are giving them 30% defense, too. So, I mean, they're, well over 1 million defense after double super in right here, because they're at nearly 700k, and they're getting 30% with every super attack they do. Pretty good. So there's AMOND RASIN. A very powerful character. I like them a lot. I don't really have any complaints. Like, if I would say, like, all right, this villain, we're going to get a villain Dokkan Fest. Now, they need help, right? They need a strong banner unit. What are we going to get? And, like, this, I would design a similar unit to what we got with AMOND RASIN. They're, again, spectacular, I would say. Okay, DS and Cacao actually able to hang in here against this full power Frieza. Remember, Frieza gets an attack buff after he super attacks as well. Pretty good. Oh, okay, well, sure. And let's also get LR Turles as active skill in here. Definitely, yeah. Let's go ahead and knock this out.
新生児の実を食べ続けてきた俺に勝てると思ったか？俺の勝ちだな。
Alright, this is coordination in ruffling up the battlefield, AMOND RASIN. A lot of people were distressed by the fact that only Raisin is actually in the card name. The other Ballsack brother, I mean, he's not in the card art or the name, right? His name is, it's like LASIK or something like that, or LASEK. I'll look it up in the background, but he, like, it is weird in the movie. They kind of are, like, a combo, like, he doesn't even, like Lekase, something like that. He doesn't even show up until deep in the movie when, I believe it's Tien and Chaozu attack. And then they kind of split into two, so... And then, of course, in the actual super attack animation, they do split into two. But I guess it could be AMOND RASIN and Lekase, or however you want to say it. Their leader skill is Planetary Destruction, Category Key 3 and 130% of stats. Super attack is the Crusher Invasion, which raises defense by 30% for 1 turn, does supreme damage to the enemy, and then has a high chance of sealing. I don't like high chance to seal so much. For so much of Dokkan's history, all these characters had guaranteed sealing. I don't really want to nitpick over it too much, because it is, I mean, this character is so busted. You know, at least they can seal, but I really would have liked a guaranteed seal right there. But, I mean, to me, this is like an ideal design for a character, especially to help a villain out. So I just really do not want to nitpick anywhere. Again, Turles is actually better than many people realize, and a huge reason is because this character can cover Turles' front. Turles can sit there in slot 2, you could have like LR Final Form Cooler in slot 3, you got AMOND RASIN in slot 1, and you're good to go, right? Their passive skill, Crusher's Tactics, gives them 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. Then they give Planetary Destruction Category Allies 1 key, 30% attack and defense. And then for characters that are also space-traveling warriors, they get an additional 20% defense and 10% chance to crit. Definitely reasonable right there. If I was to nitpick at all, maybe the one addition this character could get is that the support buff was 2 key rather than 1. 1 key is a little low. I mean, I'd rather it be even 1 key than anything, but like that's kind of like let them have a seal that's not a high chance and then raise it to 2 key on their support. Those are kind of like, I guess, the only things I really would, I guess, nitpick, right? Then this character guards and reduces damage received by 20% as the first attacker in a turn. Just a ridiculously strong combo right there. Then they get an additional 50% attack and a guaranteed additional super as the second or third attacker in a turn. And then finally they get 30% attack and defense every time guard is activated, up to a maximum of 150%. Again, if you get a buff when guard is activated, that means a dodge will trigger that buff. so I could feel very safe in giving this character full dodge, and it's completely a good choice. Their links are Loyalty, Destroyer of the Universe, Team Turles, Brutal Beatdown, Thirst for Conquest, Tough as Nails, and Fierce Battle. 12 key multiplier, 135%. Interesting. It's a little, slightly lower than usual. The usual number for banner units is 140%, but I guess I don't really care so much because this character is so dominant. And kind of like, the one weakness with them is they often will struggle for key, but I just kind of don't really care, right? Because they're dominant defensively, and they're supporting. I mean, on many turns, if they're doing a 0 attack stat, I still think that they're one of the best units in the game, right? Because it's like, their defense and support are so strong. And then finally, they don't have very many categories. Maybe you could say this is a minor weakness here. So they are, of course, on Planetary Destruction. I mean, any Planetary Destruction setup, they are a 100% must run, absolutely. They're also over here on the Join Forces team. I mean, the thing is, this character has the guard and damage reduction just in slot 1. So if you can ever run this character, I mean, eventually we'll get stronger characters, right? Like, when LR Vegeta and Trunks first dropped, I mean, there weren't really many better characters to go in slot 1 back then. Now, like, there's, you know, we have a lot more options that we could kind of work with. Eventually, there's going to be, you know, better options than AMOND and Raisin, but especially on these villain teams, this character might be very important on villain teams for a while to come. Then, of course, they're here on Terrifying Conquerors. This is where we're going to get so much value. Terrifying Conquerors, to me, does seem like Dokkan has kind of set this up as the main villain team. We've seen many Terrifying Conqueror leader skills, and AMOND and Raisin really just are going to be a must-run, right? They're going to be one of the first characters you'd want to bring on this leader skill. And then finally, they, of course, are on Space Traveling Warriors as well. So let me know what you guys think of AMOND and Raisin. Really, really impressive character. I absolutely adore them. I love them. Masterclass banner unit design. Every villain needs this, right? Super 17 would have been way better if he had this. Kale would have been better if she had this. This is so... Like, when they drop God Goku, we don't need a crazy banner unit. But when they drop Turles or Kale, Super 17, Yamcha, future Dokkan Fest Krillin, those characters, we want the banner unit, right? The strong banner unit. So... let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.